We are here. The 9 to 5 boys are live.
Oh yeah, dude, let's go. It
Let's
really
get
shook
it,
my
dog.
headphones. I should have thought about that more thoroughly, but here we are. And tonight we're being sober, not having a drink. We're having some water.
Exactly. The greatest drink of all.
It's a substance so addictive. If we go without it, we could die.
Exactly. Water addicts unite.
Exactly, dude. Um, so here's one thing I've been doing this week. So I've been watching this show called Kunk on Earth. It's this like mockuseries on Netflix. It's spelled Cunk on Earth. It's like this actress plays a character Philomena Kunk who like is like doing a report on human history or like reporting on human history and stuff and talking to experts and shit. But she's doing it like a funny way and like really goofing on them. And it's just like really stupid. And she made a joke about air. If you haven't heard of it, it's this addictive substance. You know, it's really rephrased it, which was funny. So I watched that this week. That's sort of where that starts. And then what else? Oh, and then I got to talk about the other movies I saw this week. I went to go see Cocaine Bear.
How was that? How was that?
It was exactly everything I wanted out of that movie. It was
Yes.
violent. It was funny. It was oh my god! It was like horrifying. It was pretty good at like at creating tension and stuff. And apparently Elizabeth Banks directed it, so that was like kind of a big surprise.
I mean, when you're in a movie like Zack and Miri, and then like you're known for playing the most outrageous character in Modern Family, you kind of know exactly where your career is going, and you're like, you know what? I'm gonna direct a movie about a bear that does cocaine. Why not?
and murders a bunch of people, and that's not really what happened in the story. Like the bear just overdosed on cocaine.
Yeah, it literally
Um,
ate like a pound of cocaine, and it was 175 pounds. This bear. It was a small bear.
it's a small bear, and it OD'd with 6 grams reportedly worth of cocaine in its system,
Yeah.
which like that's a lot. I mean, I don't know if you
Yeah.
know the size of a gram, dude, but like a gram is like an insane amount.
Oh no, it was so much cocaine that there was still undigested cocaine in its stomach. Like it ate a fuckload of cocaine.
That's just bad.
Yeah.
And like, it must be harder for it to get through the bloodstream, or at least it's very dangerous for it to be in the bloodstream through the stomach. I don't know if that's a good route of administration
I think just
for
the
that drug.
extreme drug itself and then that insane amount, just regardless of how much is actually like getting into your bloodstream, it's gonna keep going and going, and there's only so much your body can take. So
No, absolutely, yeah. I
yeah.
mean, it's definitely horrendous. It's not good. The movie's great though. The movie's awesome.
That is awesome.
Highly recommend. It was just hilarious.
God, that's
It was just
actually
perfect. It was exactly everything I wanted out of it. You know what I mean? It's just like it's a fun, careless movie, and I was reading an article that Dad sent me about the movie, and Elizabeth Banks was talking about like, yeah, it's like a metaphor for like nature and stuff, like what's going on in nature and it's man made, and I'm like, I guess there's a truth to that. So it's interesting that like, um, she brought that. It also has like 3 stars from the Americans all in it, which is really funny.
Oh yeah, Margot Martindale, right? The one they like joke about a lot in BoJack Horseman.
Yes, Margot Martindale plays the park ranger in this movie. She's awesome.
And then
Um,
the two main actors from the Americans are also in it too, right? One's like a drug dealer, I guess, right?
yeah, so Matthew Rice plays the drug dealer. The drug dealer Anthony Thornton. I'm gonna look up the name real quick of the drug dealer, but he was the one who parachuted out, died on September 11th, 1985. That's my 9/11.
Oh my
Um,
god, bruh.
it's when Cocaine Bear was born.
Oh my god.
Kerry Russell.
Right, that's her
Is
name.
very good in it. Yeah, she's a lovely actress. And she does really well in it. She's funny, but then she's serious when she needs to be because she can be that way.
Yeah,
Um,
dude.
yeah, she says awesome.
The only downside I think to this film, I just realized, is that this is probably Ray Liotta's like last performance before he passed away.
Second to last. He apparently did one more film after this. This was one of the films he was finishing before he died. I was gonna say while he was dying. I was like, no, he died of just old age, right? What was it he died of?
He died of like old age, some sort of like heart thing. I remember. No, someone dying while filming is definitely like Chadwick Boseman. The man was putting in the work. Right up until he
Oh
died.
no, absolutely, yeah. He was just putting in that effort until the day he kicked the bucket, and he was like,
Yeah.
it's yeah.
R.I.P.
And Ray
King.
Liotta's great in this movie too. He's a fantastic guy. He's got a fantastic part. He plays like another drug dealer trying to recover the drugs, and like he becomes kind of a real bad guy while Cocaine Bear kind of like. It's a really, oh my god, I don't want to even talk that much about it. It's just really good.
Yeah.
It's perfect. It's what it needed to be.
It's not really
It
spoilers
was
since it's
insane.
technically based on a true story. I mean, like, you can look up the...
Well, actually, no, the killing people wasn't like part of the true story. There's no record of like
The viewers don't know
Cocaine
that.
Bear.
The viewers don't know that.
Rampage. The viewers don't. I guess not. But yeah, no. I mean, I guess spoiler warnings for Cocaine Bear. But no, it's cool. It's a great movie. It's super fun. It's insane from the get, and that's how it should be. It's like it's a bear on cocaine. It's an insane concept, and it's hilarious.
That's awesome. Like, we need more movies like that where they just say fuck it and then just like put out whatever. But like it actually is good to some degree. It's not like cheesy where it's bad. It's got to be cheesy where it's good.
It's like it feels like it could be set. It's set in the 80s, but it feels like it could be from the 80s. It's like a really good, just fun movie. So many good lines, so many good jokes. It's just well written. It's also like, and the article points this out too. I don't know if I necessarily compare it to Pulp Fiction because like Pulp Fiction is a significantly. I mean, I guess it's a funny, chopped up film with a lot of stories going on. And this movie isn't chopped up in the way that like it's misordered like Pulp Fiction, but this one has like a lot of stories it's juggling and bouncing, and you never feel like you're staying on one for too long or jumping from point to point. The pacing is very good. Is my point. It's just a great. It's an enjoyable movie. It made more than Ant-Man in the box office, which I also watched this last weekend.
How was Ant-Man Quantumania?
I think I gotta watch it a second time, but I have pretty okay first impressions. Paul Rudd's great. I liked what he was doing in the film. Bill Murray was in it for a bit. That was cool.
Yeah. Quick question though: was Jonathan Majors fantastic or not?
Yeah. I wanted to start with my gripes and get to that because Kang shined in this movie. Oh my god, he was so charismatic and like scary at the same time, and I'm like, I love that. And he was first charismatic and then scary, and sort of going through. He shined. I'm so excited to see what they're doing with the character. Kang Dynasty is gonna be nuts. It's gonna be sweet.
Oh yeah.
So, what else? Okay, so like Paul Rudd was good. Michael Douglas was kind of just there. But like that's fine. He's just like he's the scientist who's too old to be the Ant-Man, so he passed it on to a criminal. And yeah, it's like it's soaked in CGI. Like you have to kind of like get over that. Which like this CGI isn't as bad as other Marvel films. MODOK looked fucking stupid, but like I'm trying to pull that over and figure out like, is there any way that MODOK could have not looked this fucking dumb? Because like he is a dumb character. He's just a stretched fucking head in a chair and stuff floating around, and he's supposed to be like this. I think they definitely stayed true to the character. The character's just fucking stupid.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be stupid. And but yeah, Kang was awesome. I kind of wish they fleshed out the quantum realm a little more because I was like still confused on what's going on and stuff. But I guess like I don't know, it's a lot of science.
It's quantum physics. It doesn't have to make sense.
Yeah, I guess so.
Because look, as much as like people say like, oh, you slap quantum in front of anything, it just makes it a perfect excuse to do some crazy, batshit insane science fiction stuff. I'm like, no, not really. I mean, real quantum physics is basically pulling, up interesting ideas of how certain things work in physics that you can't explain, but only through math. You can actually kind of explain how it works.
Yeah, like it's all theoretical, right? Like the math checks out on like several theories within quantum. I don't have an understanding of, as a non-practicing intellectual, I don't have a great understanding of physics. But I mean, I switched it as my major, switched it switched from that major to my other major in college because I just couldn't hack the math. But that's I was watching a documentary on Netflix called A Trip to Infinity, which that was really interesting, and like I really liked it as well. But yeah, so there's a lot of weird shit that goes on in quantum mechanics, and it only checks out through the math and like uh, but yeah, it was. I kind of wish they explained more on the quantum realm and kind of explored that a little bit. But it was a 2 hour film, so they had a lot to squeeze in, and I'm kind of glad it kind of helped adjusting to the CGI because they jumped into the world so quickly. That it was like, okay, we're just spending the whole movie here, and that's perfect because like it's the quantum realm, and we're taking the time to explore it. The two post credit scenes, because there are two, pretty. I would probably say maybe my like favorite parts of the film, which like maybe that's not a good thing. Is that like the setup is like the best part, and not the movie itself.
Yeah, okay, well, now I have
Um,
to see those scenes for sure. I don't know about
I
the
think I,
movie. I
I think
might
the
just
movie
wait on.
overall is fine. The movie overall is fine. Is my first impression. I
Okay.
was entertained. There were some fun action pieces. It's kind of. I wish it was just more colorful. I so wish there was more color to it. And a lot of the parts looked less like a desert and like some weird sandstorm bullshit. I really just wish there was more color because like it's a comic book. Just make it flare on the screen, dude. It's like it's
Yeah.
that's what the Suicide Squad did, the James Gunn version,
Yeah, the
and that was
Suicide
sweet.
Squad,
It
yeah.
was colorful. It was great. Um,
God.
this movie was so and so. Um, it was fine. It was an entertaining film. Um, actually, I really liked Paul Rudd in it. Paul Rudd and Jonathan Majors were good together, um, and uh, yeah, I don't know. It was just fun. It was entertaining. It was a movie. and, yeah, it was. I gotta watch it again I'm not gonna watch it again in theaters. I'm gonna wait till it drops on Disney Plus. I really think this is a poor sign that like Marvel needs to reevaluate what they're doing if like the box office numbers are so freaking low for a Marvel movie.
Well, look, that's kind of what I'm hoping for. Like, don't get me wrong, I like the actors that are in the films, and I think they're doing like what they can do
I
with
think they're
what
doing bang up
they're.
jobs. I
Yeah,
think
they're
I think
doing.
the I think the main superhero guys are doing fine jobs because it's like it's their story, right?
Yeah,
It's a CGI fuckfest all around them. So
exactly.
it's
As long as
like
they're getting paid, I'm fucking happy. But like, I do want Disney to lose enough money on these fucking projects to really make them think, shit. Like, where do we go back to? Like, how do we get bangers hitting the silver screen
how do we
again?
get
Like,
John Favreau Iron Man 1, dude? You know what I'm saying? Like how do we get that magic again?
oh my god, John Favreau, Iron Man 1, fucking Captain America Winter Soldier, fucking Civil War, uh,
Infinity
fucking
War
Thor
Endgame.
Ragnarok. Oh my god, why can't we get films like that again? Come on.
Yeah. Yeah, just great movies, man. Just yeah.
Yeah.
But oh, and if you go into so I went to this movie alone because like my girlfriend she was at work and then she also hasn't caught up on the MCU, so like she can't. It's a continuity thing. You just can't watch it. It is because like I watched the movie and I was like, wow, I'm really glad I watched Loki because like then I wouldn't have understood any of the shit that he's going on about. Um, so yeah, but but no, I'm very cool to see. I'm very excited to see what going to do with Kang and how that storyline develops. He was phenomenal. Jonathan Majors is just so good. He's so good at whatever he does, man. I was sitting there mesmerized every time he talked and stuff. I was like, and he doesn't show up for like the first, I don't know, 40 minutes at least, maybe.
Yeah.
I wasn't checking my watch or anything, but I was just like trying to think about it, and time it, because it feels like he's missing for like a pretty, probably like a good third of the movie, maybe. But then the
Yeah.
last two thirds is in there and he's dope. And yeah, it was cool. It was a fine movie. Yeah, it was fine. It was
Yeah.
enjoyable. What other movies have I watched this week? Oh, tell me about The Last of Us, dude. Tell me what you think. Finally, that you're like on it.
Okay.
Especially after the last episode. Oh my god.
Yeah, so you saw episode 7 as well, right?
Episode 7. Oh my god. Okay, so spoilers for anyone who isn't caught up. All the way to episodes 7 that just dropped. We're recording this Monday. It dropped last night. So if you need to like sign out now, go for it.
Yeah. This timestamp right here, right now. I'll probably mark it post editing. To clock out if you don't want to get spoilers for this show. Okay.
Just skip ahead to that.
Exactly. We'll tell you when we stop talking about spoilers ahead. So, with that being said, let's talk The Last of Us. So,
The Last of Us, yeah. So, okay, so episode 1.
Fucking phenomenal. Phenomenal.
It had the Sarah storyline was great, and then like it goes into the world, and then like I think it's at the end of episode 1 that Ellie and Joel meet, right?
It's at the end of episode 1 that they meet up. They start their quest together
with
Tess.
Tess, that's right.
Yeah, and then it ends off with the big reveal. Ellie's infected, but she's immune, so it's not a problem.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Because the bite got from the mall.
Exactly. So, which felt a little rushed. So there was that. It was like, whoa, big reveal, and then they just kind of brush over it like it's nothing until they talk about it later when it's a convenient moment.
Yeah, for real. I mean,
Yeah.
I guess there's that. I didn't think about that part because like I figured Joel would be like more freaked out, or like both of them would, right? Because they don't know what's going on.
Yeah, but they figured that it's a high tense situation.
Maybe they're also like, I don't want to kill the kid, so like we'll just keep an eye on her.
Especially since clearly he the situation he was in which a guard is pointing a gun directly at him and a young girl, it immediately made him think of that moment with him and Sarah.
Well, yeah, it's a flashback. He's got fucking trauma, Eric. He's having panic attacks.
Yeah, so what you're saying is true, that because of that and that feeling, he's not going to go ahead and just kill another kid who's, like, essentially the same age as his daughter. So, like, back in the day.
I mean, yeah. So that's justified. So I guess there's that component to think of.
Also, like, they could have been, like, ambushed by any one of those Fedra motherfuckers. So, like, they had to get out of there pretty fast.
Oh, well, yeah, because they just beat a guard to death, I think, yeah. So
yeah, and then deal with the situation of Ellie being infected afterwards, which takes some convincing, but they're like, yeah, we'll go along with it, fuck it, which makes sense.
Yeah, so I love the shot at the end of the first episode where they're walking off in the rain in the night, and like there's the flash of lightning, and there's just the one clicker in the back, dude. Oh, it was sweet.
Oh yeah.
And the Tess, the next episode where like they're out in the world and stuff, and like Tess like dies at the end, bro. Oh my god.
Dude, that was hardcore. It was different from how it ended in the game. So,
it was, because she just blew up in the game, right? But here she like.
No, it was a bunch of raiders wanting to storm the building, and so she thought, I'm just gonna do this like Custard's Last Stand. So, and then
totally.
Here's some gunfire. She exchanges more bullets. Then the enemy side managed to kill her. You only hear that, and then when you get to the second level of the building, you actually see her dead corpse in the center of the room.
Yeah, it's been so long since I played the game, so so it was different. I'm glad they changed it up. It's like The Walking Dead. They're trying to keep the audience on their toes and stuff.
Same with Bill and Frank. Oh my god, that fucking episode. Jesus Christ.
That was some of the best writing in television history. That was a phenomenal episode. I want to watch that again. I've watched it twice already. I want to watch it again, dude. That episode slaps, honestly. It's fucking amazing, dude.
Dude, Nick Offerman has mastered the art of, like, I don't want someone in my house right now. Like, the whole, like, anxiety.
He's really got the vibe of, like, I really don't want you. I need you to go. He's just like...
Yeah, I want you to leave.
Man, I love him. And I love the relationship they developed. And then the ending to it was, like... It was sad, but it's also like, this is the only way it could go out. I think this is like a really meaningful way to do it,
Exactly. It's like...
And like, it's just...
downs a glass of wine. It's like, there was drugs in the wine, wasn't there? Enough to kill a horse, yeah.
Enough to kill... Yeah, he's just... I love how funny Nick Offerman is. He's hilarious, dude. Like, I love that they got to live... Because, like, you got scared. I got scared, right? Like, when, like, Bill got shot, and, like, so Frank has to, like, save him.
Yeah.
And I was like worried like that's where it was gonna end, but then they grow old together, and it's like fuck, they kill themselves together. It's like crazy.
Yeah, which is great because like it's like 16 years of like happiness for like probably the first time in Bill's life. Like I don't know what his past was before up until then, but it had to be a troubled one for you to become a anti-government conspiracy theorist. So
Yeah, for real.
yeah,
And he's
so
also gay.
that is true, and listens to country music. So
That's right. So yeah, but anyway, no, it was. Oh my god. Oh
yeah.
my god, dude, just like really well. I love, and then when they introduce Joel and Tess into that storyline, oh, I love. Oh, and then it's heartbreaking at the end when Ellie reads the letter, and it's like, and like Bill's leaving him all the stuff. It's like to keep Tess safe, but she couldn't finish the sentence, and I was like, oh, bro, that hits. Ellie, the girl who plays Ellie, is really good. She's doing a fantastic job. I'm
I
really.
know.
What's her name? Something Ramsey, right?
Bella Ramsey. Yeah.
Bella, she's so, oh my god, she's like perfect, and I love hearing her interviews because like her accent is so different, but she's adorable too still. So I'm like, oh, sweet. Um, okay, and then so that was episode 3. Episode 4 was
Episode 4. I'm trying to remember.
was that the beginning of that? Oh, it ended off with Sam and Henry being introduced.
Yes.
So that was the episode where Joel and that was the episode where they're in the camp and like they have those raiders who like trick them and stuff, and they have to kill that one guy, but like Ellie cripples him, and it's
Yeah.
like, oh, that scene was hard to watch.
And he's fucking begging for his life while like Joel knows exactly what he has to do.
Yeah, he's just like, and the kid's begging and switching, but I'm part of me is like, he's scared for his life, so like fuck, I feel it, but like
Yeah.
he
fucked around and found out.
He also did fuck around and find out. I was like, kind of like, you put yourself in the situation, dude. What? It's like he's like saying like, I didn't know. It's like, you didn't know what, that you would get pwned, bitch. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, dude, get good, kid. Fucking play some Dark Souls once in your life.
Get good, scrub. And
yeah.
so.
Oh wait, shit. Dark Souls wouldn't have come out around 2003. Fuck.
I guess not. I mean, he would have had Doom, but
True.
Or maybe Call of Duty 2. I don't know.
Oh, he probably would have had like Call of Duty 3, like on a PlayStation 1 or something.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that scene was fucked. I liked that episode. That episode was crazy. I thought it was really cool. I like how this show, it's mostly the humans you're interacting with. It's not so much the clickers, which is really, really interesting.
Yeah.
And, let's see.
I mean, the way they do the levels of infected is pretty smart. Like, they have, like, a few clickers here and there. Those are, like, the long-term infected. While, like, the more prominent population of infected are going to be, like, some regulars, ones that actually see and hear you, so...
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which is the one that gets them in, the one that gets Ellie and Riley in episode 7, so...
Yeah. And so... Episode 4 ends with Sam and Henry being introduced, and then I like that episode too because that was like growing like their relationship, and like that was the beginning of like she like made that joke about the diarrhea.
Yeah.
And he laughed, and like that was them connecting and stuff, and I was like, oh sweet, I'm loving to see this explore or like to expand.
Yeah.
Explore. Loving to see it expand, and then episode 5 was Sam and Henry trying to get them out of the city. Oh, and that one chick. Oh. She was like hella like ruthless, bro. She was ruthless in episode 4 as well. Oh my god, dude.
Yeah.
And then when they released all the clickers and stuff, like, oh my god, there's just been so much going on in the show. I haven't like even. I've just been watching week to week, and like I kind of like I remember the episode, but like not distinctly, right? So I haven't like been able to like come back to it because there's just so much content. I'm trying to keep up with other stuff, but
no, I feel that. I mean, it's still pretty fresh for me too, but there are some like minor moments that I miss. I kind of get it's like the whole story is like blended all together. I know everything that happens, but like trying to remember very specific moments, I'm like, wait, which episode is that? Fuck.
Yeah, it's hard. I will say I like how I like how seamlessly it is that like all the backstories kind of like fade into the current stories. Like
exactly.
Like episode 4 ends with like it was Henry pointing a gun at Joel, right? And then episode 5 is like showing how they got to where they were at that point, and then it's like then we get back into the original story we were following and stuff, and it really all weaves together nicely.
Yeah. No, the thing that hit me hard was like I knew that Sam and Henry's story was not going to end well because I played the game, so I was kind of mentally preparing myself for like that inevitability. However, I was not expecting for Henry to game end himself in front of Ellie and just see her reaction to that. Like fucking hell.
Oh yeah, he did just kill his brother. You know what I mean? He was like, "Fuck."
Yeah, but no, like just I don't know if it's like Bella Ramsey's acting, but like just that look of sorrow in her face. I'm just like, that is a life-changing moment for a child, my friend. That child is never going to see this world the same way again, ever.
Yeah, that's kind of like that's some trauma you carry, man. Like, I mean, and she's been through a lot already. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Riley and stuff. Watching. We need to talk about episode 6 as well.
Yeah.
Episode 5 was crazy. I liked how they were sneaking around and stuff, and like how they were snarky to each other, and like trying to. I liked how Sam was like, "I don't really know how this works. Like, you know, we're not gonna like point a gun at each other anymore." Like, I love the vernacular, the vocabulary they're using is like really just. I think it really suits it well. It's like it fits the world building aspect to it. Pedro Pascal is fantastic as Joel.
Yeah.
And him and Ellie are so good together. You know what I mean? Like him and they have really good chemistry. They bounce off each other well. So episode 6 was like I don't know what to think about the skipping 6 months later kind of or 3 months later. I never like when it's like a span of time that long. It feels like there's a lot that can go on in 90 days. You know what I mean? Like, can we see what happened those 90 days?
Yeah, and you would think at that point like there wouldn't be like a debate on like who's taking watch and whatnot. You think after spending 3 months together, you think they like trust each other to be like, oh, okay,
I'll take first watch, you take second watch or whatever. Yeah,
exactly. Not this whole like back and forth one. I'm just like, man, Joel is like 6 years old, right? He needs to.
He said he was 56 or 57. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like he's an old man. He needs to take naps. Okay, like.
Yeah, he's got to rest, dude. He's an old man.
Yeah, Ellie's fucking 14, man. She can, like, play video games till, like, 2 in the morning and then go to a shift at, like, 6 at, like, Burger King or something.
Yeah, exactly, dude.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so... What else? Okay, so what else happened in that episode? So they were journeying together, which is cool.
And then they stumble upon that elderly couple, which, by the way, they need their own spin-off series. I would watch definitely 6 episodes of them just shooting the shit like that.
Oh, okay, yeah. Can we talk about pacing a little bit? I felt like Tommy's storyline was so rushed. But I'm skipping ahead of myself. The Asian couple was hilarious. I thought that was awesome. They were adorable. He's like, you made the soup? Yeah. What did she said back to him? I don't know. It was really fucking funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were hilarious. And then let's see. So then they're going up to. Oh, I love the scene with the dog. The tension with like, oh, he could smell like the infected, and she's like, she's got the bite. But I mean, if you think about it on a scientific level, I'm not a biologist or anything by any means, or what is it? What's the one that studies diseases? Epidemiologist?
I think so. Yeah, epidemiologist. Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, the spread of infectious diseases or whatever. So if
viewers can tell us in the comments what is the researcher that does things into disease?
Yeah, who researches disease? What kind of doctor is that? So anyway, the science would check out that like if she can't get infected from a bite, that means she's not infected, right? It doesn't carry or maybe I guess you have the disease in you, it's just not impacting you. But
yeah. Also, like the thing I found BS in that, like, don't get me wrong, the tension was great, but like. I knew for a fact that dog was going to be friendly towards her because dogs just live on fucking vibes, period. Like, if she's infected and she's going to turn, like, the dog is going to know. The dog is going to know the fine line between a good person and a bad person, or what constitutes as a person.
The dog, because the dog in the first episode with Grandma was, like, recognizing that Grandma was fucked up.
Yeah, so. Grandma was fucked up and ran immediately to, like, someone who was, like, still there, still sane, someone to trust. This dog, sees, someone like Ellie and is like, this is definitely a good human. I don't like the smell, but I can sense that her vibes are, in check.
For sure. But
she passed the vibe check.
But I mean, yeah, literally. But I mean, like, yeah, she probably didn't have the infection in her. I think.
Well,
But
she
I did
does,
like the
but it doesn't
tension.
matter because the dog just kind of knows that this is a good person. It's a chill person to hang out with.
I guess that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Because I think it's just going based on smell, who's infected and who's not.
mhm. Oh, and so if it's further along the stage of infection, it would be a weirder smell.
Yeah, exactly. If it's
Maybe.
like just a neutral level where it's like it's not overtaking the body, it's just kind of part of the body now.
I
It's
bet
like,
Clicker's fucking a reek, dude. I can tell you what.
oh, dude, they probably smell like wet socks and like a gym bag. Like,
Yeah, for real. That's where fungi would grow. But
no, wet socks filled with like expired bacon in a gym bag.
mm, yeah, that would be where fungi grow.
Yeah.
So that was episode 6.
Yeah, and you're
But
right. They brushed over Tommy's story real quick,
the
but
Tommy storyline resolved itself way too quickly. I found.
well, because there's not much
But
to tell. There's only like one side quest they have in the game where like they help him fix a dam to get power for his commune, and that's about it. Like in terms of character development, it's more like him acknowledging, hey, Joel, since you got this like kid now with you, it's like you got a chance at happiness or something, man.
yeah, and like he's trying to get her over to where he needs her to be. I don't know. It's like I feel like Tommy was so like negligent, like um, but also like yeah, I don't know. Anyway, so that was my only gripe of the episode. But then it ends with like fucking Joel getting stabbed, bro, and then it was like, oh, it leaves on that cliffhanger, but like you kind of know, but like you don't know if he's gonna live, and it's like, and so I mean, but Ellie's taking care of him like in this house, and like then I love how that transitions into the Riley storyline because like I love about this recent episode is that she opens the door to like once he tells her to go and leave, and like it cuts from there to the backstory of showing you why she can't walk away. You know why she can't just walk away. And then after the end of the story, it transitions into her going back and helping Joel. It's like, oh my god, dude.
Yeah, and thank God it
It's
wasn't.
just great storytelling. It's fantastic.
And thank God it wasn't some ridiculous like fetch quest like it was in the game. Like don't get me wrong, the DLC was great, but like literally the whole thing is like her trying to get to this helicopter that crashed in the top of a mall and like get to a medical kit that's in the helicopter. All the while it's also telling the Riley backstory at the same time through flashback sequences.
Hmm.
So like at least this like alteration to the story makes sense. It's clear and concise without making the episode too long. And it seems a bit more realistic because this girl is just gonna be like, "Oh, I found some spool and thread. I'm gonna fix Joel that way."
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I love that. I love that ending too. That she's like trying to sew them back together and stuff. Um, the episode when like after she got, it's just you're watching the whole thing and you're like, I know what's gonna happen. I know
yeah.
what's gonna fucking happen, and it upsets me.
That's why I'm terrified of like the next 2 episodes before the end of the season because I think based on where it's going along in story of the series versus the video game, I know that this is going to be the part where she runs into that like small group of charming yet evil, cannibals. So
Oh God, yeah.
yeah,
Oh Jesus. Oh yeah, and Joel is like perfect for the pickings, because he's half fucking dead.
well that and also I think in the game, you don't quote me on this because I might get this wrong, but I do vaguely remember that they were threatening to have their way with Ellie before cooking her and eating her.
That also makes sense, and that's fucked
Yeah.
up.
And there's this whole fucking boss battle between like her and the leader of this group where she has to like sneak around like the fucking Batman and like, stab him with her little pocket knife.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Um.
Before Joel rushes in, before he's about to kill her and then, beat the ever living shit out of this guy.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's gonna be sweet to see put to screen because that's gonna be the definitive moment of where they're like bonding and stuff. He like saves her life again, or one of the most defining moments of their bonding experience. I mean, I'm certain that Ellie putting him back together is like a huge help for their relationship. But in terms of expanding it, and
It
but
would be
no, yeah.
interesting
So
to see that if that does actually play out the way it does, it has her actually like overpower this guy and actually like prove to both herself and Joel that she can survive in this fucked up world, and that might provide an interesting look into their relationship. But they both see that they're like equals in a way, then it probably develops their bond even more.
Mm. That could be interesting to explore. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know where it's gonna go, and I really like that component too. I really don't want to know where it's going, so I could feel semi-surprised when I see stuff. And some of the shots, dude, are like exactly like the game and stuff. It's just like some of the scenes are well put together, like from the game.
Costume design, oh my god! There's like articles of clothing and like weapons and shit that I've seen. It's like this is exactly like the game. It's insane. Like it is to a T.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's perfect. What I love about episode 7, the most recent, is like you know what's gonna happen to Riley, and like you're watching it, but then it's like it still hurts. It still fucking hurts, man. And it's and when she got bit and they're sitting together, I was like on the verge of tears, bro. I was like, fuck, this sucks, dude.
That's what hit hard in the DLC too. Like you're just sitting there like in the cutscene while like they're talking about their options, and they just agree to lose their minds together. And I was like,
in a poetic way, because it's gonna end. It sucks because it's only gonna be one of them. Because Ellie's gonna have to deal with that.
Yeah. And I certainly hope that like Riley loses her mind completely and doesn't actually realize that Ellie was immune this entire time. Because if that is the case, where she does find out just before she dies, like there might be like a Old Guard situation where like in the movie Old Guard, it's like a bunch of immortals like doing stuff, living life. But they allude to one of their backstories that this guy discovered he was immortal way early in the centuries. So when he has a son and his son is dying of like cholera and his dad doesn't age period at all, he blames his father. Like, why do you get to have this gift and I don't?
Mm.
Yeah.
Well, I'm hoping that it's like...
Because that would be fucked if that was the case.
It would be fucked, but I think it would suck too, especially because like, Riley would like die knowing that she left Ellie to live with this guilt and this pain. You know what I mean? Like that's just fucked up.
Oh, that's also true. Fuck, you're right.
I think that would be more the case because like, they were very close and like, I loved seeing their relationship develop.
Yeah.
And
just that single kiss and you kind of know what they could have had in the future. Like shit.
Yeah, they could have. Yeah, it was. And then when she's like, "I'm sorry," she's like, "For what?" And I was like, "Oh shit,
yeah,
good move."
Could have lived like Bill and Frank, but fuck, no. Probably like 2 days together at most with this newfound, relationship. Whereas Bill and Frank had like 16 fucking years.
Yeah, for real, dude. Why? Why did the gay men get more time? Why can't the gay women?
I know, man.
But yeah, no, fantastic show. I really did not like to see though. I was really upset after episode 3 that there was like a bunch of like review bombing for that episode because of the gayness, and it's like, what the you guys never played the fucking game, like
you didn't know that Bill in the game was gay just from like subtle clues here and there and subtle words in his speech.
Yeah, it's like, what the fuck, man? It's it's dumb, dude.
It's so fucking dumb. Like, come on, man. Plus, I watched the first season of like White Lotus. It is like nothing compared to like this, like gay shit going around.
Yeah. It's just, oh my god, I love that actor was so good in both the. I mean, I haven't finished this first season of White Lotus, but he's very good in what I've seen so far, and he was very good in Last of Us, man. He was crazy good.
I know. I want to see him in more stuff. Seriously, he's so good. He's so good.
Yeah, he was fucking awesome.
Also, this is like the third time Pedro Pascal has played like a father figure to a young child in dire situations. Sorry, young child.
Yeah. Grogu's a male, right?
Yeah, Grogu's a male. So that's why I caught myself. Third time, he's a father figure to a young
baby
child.
Yoda.
Yeah. Well, okay. The confusing thing about the baby is that like it's like 50 years old, yet it's like what 1.
Yeah. It's like how does that's not very conducive for the species survival. If you've to spend several years taking care of a child that hasn't really grown yet to speak or anything, it's like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah, no, like, okay, so there was that movie Prospect where, like, it's a science fiction film. It's pretty slow burn, but it's pretty good. Basically, Pedro Pascal plays, like, a criminal who, through some fucked up scenario, has to look after this, like, young girl, and he's just like, fine, we'll help each other out and we'll get off this rock together. And they form, like, an actual, like, cool bond, despite their dire situation.
Mm.
And then, obviously, The Mandalorian, Mando taking care of Grogu, another father figure taking after a child, and then Last of Us. What is with like Pedro Pascal being a daddy? Like, what is going on here?
He's at that age. It's like the transition, like the transition that actors make of any caliber, right? Whether it be A-list actors in Hollywood or A-list porn stars in the industry. There's as you age, you quite shift into the category of characters you could play. Pedro Pascal could certainly not play a high schooler these days, but he has gotten to the age where he could play a Zaddie, and it's like, it's sweet, and it's like, it's perfect, Dan, and I love it. God. I love the Pedro Pascal edits that are on TikTok. They're fucking awesome and hilarious, and like.
I fucking love how he's like self-aware now to the shit that they've been posting online. He literally said in a video, it's like, why are you guys making flashy compilation edits of like me? What is going on?
Yeah, he's like trying to figure out like why the internet is memeing him so much.
Yeah,
but he's just awesome.
He's fucking awesome. Yeah. Honestly, Oscar Isaac has embraced it so much. I love him for it because like, no, Oscar Isaac, like, he's embraced that shit. Like, he's just like, you can call me daddy if you want.
He's like, yeah, he's just, if you can't beat him, join him, you know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
Plus, he's also just a very attractive man. He's like very, I don't know, he's got something about him, dude.
He knows the goods he's got, and he just embraces it. It's not like a Brad Pitt scenario where he doesn't want to be known as the pretty boy. Oscar Isaac doesn't give a fuck.
He's glad to be the pretty boy. He's a silver fox, dude. I fucking hate it. He's so hot. But
it's funny too. I think he was in the movie A Most Violent Year with Jessica Chastain, and even though those two characters
about like Chicago or something.
It's about the most violent year for mobsters in New York City, which is between 1983 to like 1984, coming on to 1985.
Oh wow! So it's a little over a year.
Yeah, a little over a year. So most violent, little over a year.
That's crazy, man. That's crazy.
But yeah, no, they're in the movie together, and while I remember their relationship being like a pretty healthy marriage despite everything going on, fucking Jessica Chastain and Oscar Isaac in real life, like, Jesus Christ, they would be perfect together. Like,
they know how to play up sexy at like red carpet events, dude.
Yeah. Just
they know how to like plan that like act in attraction to each other, and I'm sure they are like they find each other attractive, right? But I'm sure they have their like respective partners, so they would never do anything. But like they know how to play up that level, and it's great. And like Oscar Isaac, man, oh man.
Oh no, there's some like varying levels of horniness in Hollywood. It's insane. Like, you ever seen that video of like Drew Barrymore and Aubrey Plaza talking for like a podcast or something, and like. Aubrey Plaza is not being subtle and like, yeah, I want you, Drew. Please be my mommy.
She's like flirting. Yeah, Aubrey Plaza's interesting in interviews. I don't really. She did this one with Stephen Colbert. I'm sure that's gone. I'm sure you've seen that has gone viral. And it's like her and cat ears and stuff, and like being all weird and playful on his desk. I don't know. It's like
whatever it is, it's clearly working. Like, her track record. Her career is fantastic. Like, she's
a good actress. I think she's very good in what she does. I liked her quite a bit on Parks and Rec. That's like, I think that's where she got her start. Yeah. And in some of the stuff she's in, I want to see that movie Life After Beth. That's on HBO Max. I definitely need to check that out. What other movies?
She was also in The Little Hours. That was an insane film. Jesus Christ.
Little Hours?
Yeah, it's basically about like three nuns at a convent. Like, they're trying to stay true to their faith, but they're also like, have sinful desires. And then Dave Franco shows up, and he's trying to escape, an affair he's been having with a a lord's wife, and so he's pretending to be like this deaf, guy who's going to be a gardener on the commune, but they're like pining after him, so it's like it's insane. It's John C. Reilly's in it, and it's fucking insane.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah,
that's got the cast, bro. That's a weird plot. So like,
it's based on a book apparently.
Cool.
Yeah. But another one that Aubrey Plaza's pretty good in is what is it? Dirty Grandpa? Is that the one with Robert De Niro and Zac Efron?
I think that is called. Oh, it's called. Yeah, that one's Dirty Grandpa because I think Bad Grandpa is the jackass one.
Yeah, I know that gets real confusing real fast. But honestly,
it does. They're both grandpas, but they're very different movies.
I would say out of the two, like Bad Grandpa is probably like funnier, but like I don't know, Dirty Grandpa is just a bit more interesting because you're seeing Robert De Niro, an incredibly talented actor being in like one of the most outrageous like comedy films I've seen in a long time.
He's being very crass and like I haven't seen that one. I thought I was interested in seeing it when it was like when the trailers were coming out and stuff. Speaking of trailers, she's apparently Aubrey Plaza's in a Guy Ritchie movie. It's something called Operation Something.
Yeah, with Jason Statham and Hugh Grant, right?
Yeah, it's like a crazy like. It's cool. It's this weird movie about this guy who's trying to get at this like, I think, criminal kingpin or something, and like he's using an actor to do it. And it kind of like it sort of breathes the same vibes as like The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. Not that like she ripped him off or anything.
Yeah.
Not that Guy Ritchie ripped that off or anything, but like, sorry, just got a text. But yeah, it looks fun. I don't know. Guy Ritchie, like I really enjoyed The Gentleman. I thought that was well written and funny and put together.
It definitely calls back to some of his earlier like films, and it's still great. Don't get me wrong, it's still great. But like I don't know, Snatch is still like top of the list for me.
Yeah, no, I think he peaked at Snatch. It's like that's his magnum opus, and
yeah,
I don't know. Since then, it hasn't really hit as hard.
Gentleman has come close though because it is very similar, but it has much more unique, diverse characters.
Mm-hmm. No, absolutely. It definitely does. Yeah, but I like The Gentleman too. It was good, and it was kind of that same style, right? That like he's known for, and so that was cool. But yeah, maybe I'm just like I shouldn't be comparing to his greatest work. It's like that just makes all his other stuff look like dog shit.
That is true.
So, like,
that is true.
I should just try to take it for what it is.
Yeah, no, and honestly, because of like The Gentleman, I've got to see Hugh Grant play like the best version of like himself, which is just a total scumbag with a Cockney accent.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what it is. Like Hugh Grant decided to make like the ultimate career choice and like go from like goofy, posh, like romantic comedy like Englishman to being like total scumbag Englishman, and it fucking works. It works so well for him. I think he has so much fun.
Yeah, dude. It does. Yeah, it's perfect.
Yeah. One movie that I saw recently that I might have to see again because it was very unique and interesting was Knock at the Cabin.
I've not seen that yet. Is that the movie you went to go see last week in the theaters?
I wanted to go see it in theaters. I was planning on doing it tomorrow, but I got a surprise shift from my work, so I was like, fuck. And there's no like showings today, so I thought I'll just pay $20 to stream it on Apple TV.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And how was it?
It was great. It was so good. I had to see it again to really pick it apart, but all the performances were so good. It just kept me like intrigued and guessing where this like story is going and how these characters got to this point. And it's phenomenal. Like this, it was so good to see Dave Bautista in a full-length film and just seeing him like act his ass off. It was insane. It was awesome.
That's good, man.
Yeah.
Because I was reading an interview with him, and he was saying like how he was like, he worried for a long time if he could get like serious acting roles and stuff. But like he's a really good actor, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, it's crazy.
Yeah, I would compare his like acting in this movie to kind of like Ryan Gosling in Drive, where in the movie Drive you can tell that there's this like kind of contained kind of like violence. Like this is Dave Bautista in the film. Like he's just so like meticulous in his behavior that like you think to yourself, if he actually pops off, he can destroy everyone in the room, no problem.
Okay, yeah. So I definitely have to see this movie. Me and the lady were gonna go see it. I think. Oh, when were we gonna go see it? We were gonna see this last weekend, but then she got called in for a shift, so we went to go see Cocaine Bear instead. Which like it's not a bad alternative, but
True, that is true.
But yeah,
No,
I
but
definitely want to watch it now for sure.
everything in this movie, from like its style of like weapon choice to like its backstory for these characters, and just the overall vibe. Like I described Dave Bautista's like character in this movie as kind of like repressed violence, but like when really it's supposed to give off the energy of like he doesn't want to be here and do this to these people, but he knows he has to because it is for the sake of the world.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, don't tell me anything about the plot or anything, but I'm glad to hear that. And how was Rupert Grint's performance? Because like I see he's in it, and I've heard good things about that too.
He was so good. He was actually on par with Dave Bautista. Like those two shined. Like they were so good.
I have to check this movie out.
Yeah, like he definitely had more like chaotic energy to him. Like he definitely really wanted to pop off, but you're like, no, he knows that he can't for the sake of like the rules that they have.
Mm-hmm.
But it's fantastic. It's like it's so well done. Jonathan Groff was amazing too. Like as always. Like
yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I got my computer linked up to my phone, so I get like texts. So.
No, yeah, that's how Macs do it. I have a PC, so mine doesn't do that. But what my PC does do is it crashes a lot.
That's great. Fucking Bill Gates, getting your shit.
It crashed like 3 times yesterday, and I was like really annoyed because I was trying to update my album list, which that has been going well. I'm at number like today I went through and I'm up at number 174.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Which I think was cool.
The artist that you sent me, Larkin Poe, the one that does the cover of Nights in White Satin by the Moody Blues.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I bought that whole album, which is a whole cover album, and then they're also debut album, which is like all original music, Self-Made Man. I bought that. They're fantastic. They sound awesome.
No, they're great blues artists. Self-Made Man, does that have the track Holy Ghost Fire?
I think so. I'll have to double check just to make sure.
Their most recent album they dropped last year.
Holy Ghost Fire, you're right, yeah.
That was like the track that introduced me to them, and I was like, yo, this shit slaps.
Yeah.
And so their new album, Blood Harmony, I think is what it's called. That was really good. I listened to that one on this list. If you want to check out some more stuff, that's a good album too. Actually, yeah, I was really impressed with it. There's like 2 particular tracks on it. Let's see, Larkin Poe, that are really impressive. It was Bad Spell and Kick the Blues. Kick the Blues was really fun and a bit of a tonal shift, which was cool. Yeah, it was just nice. And there's some other stuff. I've been also listening to like all of King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard's discography.
Oh yeah, I've heard of them. They're pretty good, right?
They're like some neo psychedelic rock stuff, which I highly respect. It's very cool. They're a really interesting album. Let's see. No, I just listened to that this weekend. Eyes Like the Sky is kind of like a narration one. It's like telling a story, like an Old West kind of vibe, and that's like really cool. And I thought that was a really interesting concept album. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. But yeah, that one really stood out. I listened to their new their 2014 album. I think one of their 2014 albums, "Float Along, Fill Your Lungs," which is cool. I listened to that this last weekend. But yeah, I really enjoyed their stuff. I've listened to mostly just tracks and whatnot off of like Spotify playlists. But their full albums are cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
I Like the Sky is very interesting. I need to listen to that one again, but yeah, I'm listening to like 3 albums a day, so I need to give myself some music break. But I
Oh
usually get it
yeah.
done pretty quickly, which is good. So
I mean, you said 197, right?
174, yeah.
174. Okay, you're getting up there. Shit.
Yeah, it's like I've listened to almost 200 since the beginning of the new year, bro. It's like
Jesus Christ.
yeah, no, it's a lot of music, man, and it's like it's cool. One of them was an artist. It was a local artist. So I went to a show. It was kind of impromptu. So we frequent this bar. And Thursdays they have college nights, which is like popping. But we'd never been on another night. So like me, Nate, and Tyler, we were like, hey, let's go check out the bar on the Friday and see what it's like. And it turns out they had live music there. So it was a bunch of like local bands to the university that were playing there that night, which was cool. And one of them we were talking to while having a smoke break outside, and she was like talking to us because she was organizing the event. She was asking us like what we think, and I was talking to her, and she's like going to school doing like a double major. I don't remember what the first major is. It might have been business or something, but she was like double majoring in philosophy as well. So I was like, oh, cool. Like, and so we talked about that because I very much have read a lot on that. And she tells me she's an artist, so I listened to her album today actually, which was cool. I want to listen to that again. That was really sweet. Really dope album. Yeah. Excuse me. There's a lot of like music that there's just I'm venturing on this and I'm realizing how much there is in the world and how much had been put out since the time of even recorded music. Because like music before, right before like the phonograph, I mean, you could like record it right with like notes and lyrics and stuff, but like people couldn't record you playing it. You know, it's like and that's a really interesting thing to like think about because I've been listening to like a lot of like Delta blues, like some really old like 100-year-old sort of Delta blues, and I've been thinking about like man, these guys like were just singing their heart out 100 years ago about some shit, man, and like I get to listen to it now. You know, that's transcended time, man, and like it's very cool that way. But yeah, I would say this is probably a good place to clock out here. Do we want to do that?
I think that sounds like a good plan, man. Yeah.
Sweet. Well, thank you so much, viewers, for joining in. This has been the 9 to 5 Boys. Clock it out.